Dallas Stars had the Minnesota Wild right where we wanted them, and we just couldn't get the job done. Four consecutive power plays went our way. One of those, the final one, was in the last several minutes of the game where we had a double minor in our favor, and we had chances left and right and could not finish them out. We went 1 for 5 on the power play on the night. They went 0 for 2, and it just wasn't enough. And we let the Wild come back. We were up 1-0 on this team, and we let them come back due to defensive mistakes. And then we had a defensive mistake in overtime that cost us the game in the final sense. So, you can't, when you look at this game, it's like, it's a painful loss because there was a lot that we did well. You can't say that this was a bad game for the Stars, but we just lacked a little bit in execution. And the defensive errors, so the big one was from Robo and OT, completely left Tarasenko open, was on the wrong side. We had three players all on the same side of the ice. Tarasenko had all the time in the world to pick his corner and rip a shot, and man, does he have a shot. Could Otter have maybe come out a little bit to play that a little more aggressively? I think so, but it may not have mattered anyway. It was a great shot. And, Otter had a very good game. You cannot really blame this on Otter one bit. Robo, for his part, was on the ice for all goals. He was the lone goal scorer for Dallas, and he was on the ice for both goals against. So he ended up with a -1 on the night. Then Myers had his first not so good game for his part. He had he was on the wrong side of the ice like Robo on the goal against that came at the hands of Bobby Brink. It was a stretch pass at the blue line that hit Brink, and Bixel and Myers were both too high. Myers was on the wrong side and just neglecting his right side duties, and Brink roofs it backhand over the top of Otter all alone. So that was the scoring for the Minnesota Wild. Robo had the one goal on the power play, a nice ripper. So that pretty much covered the scoring, and you come out of this game in a situation where you could have really closed the gap on Colorado a little bit, and we need to close the gap in every opportunity that we can, and here's why. Because Colorado, I looked at their schedule, and they have cupcake after cupcake after cupcake. I'm talking bottom 5 teams in the league for the most of the remainder of the season, with a few exceptions here and there. So we have a much higher quality of competition, and we need every point that we can take, because Colorado is probably going to run up a lot of points in this last little bit. So tough one there. We stay. We're 5 points ahead of Minnesota, so they picked up a point on us. We've got 2 games in hand on them, so it's going to be tough for them to catch us. But would have been nice to finally put the stake in the heart of the Minnesota Wild. We did not do that. And to their credit, they played a very good game. Very good game in a lot of ways. And you got to give credit to where credit's due. Their goaltender played amazing. And, man, that Quinn Hughes, he is one slippery salamander dipped in KY jelly. He is just hard to handle. And he just goes through everybody. He's incredible to watch. Physically, we got out hit 36-25. I think that whenever you put 25 hits up in a regular season game, it's not like you're playing soft, but we did not match the level of physicality that Minnesota brought. Um, there was, some interesting plays. Robo gets a rare boarding and stands over Quinn Hughes apologizing to him. I don't think I've ever seen that until finally the ref flagged it down. I don't know if I would have played that way. I probably would have come back later and apologized instead of drawing attention to it, but he probably would have gotten called anyway. And then in the first period, we saw Zuccarello headlock Bastion and take a roughing call, and Ritzy threw a hit at the end of the first after the buzzer. Pops Hartman along the wall. That was good to see. Ernie, as usual, led the team with 4 hits. Leon second in hits with 3. But you'd have liked to seen some other players that had 3-4 hits in this game, and we didn't see that. Robo comes out of the game with 38 goals on the year, one step closer to 40, and hopefully double 40s between him and Wyatt Johnston. The unprecedented in Dallas history, double 40 goal scorers would be cool to see. Let's talk a little Dylan Hryckowian, the brother of the fan favorite Justin Hryckowian, just got signed to the Dallas Stars, and this is a great one for us. I'll tell you, when you look, he played at the same college that Justin went to, Northeastern University, and they actually had 1 year of overlap, played together. He looks up to Justin. He's his role model. They call him June Bug. June short for Junior Hryckowian. And Bug, I don't know. I think it's because he bugs people. Whatever it is, I love it. It's funny. It's unique. And if you look at his numbers, the kid's 21. So he's got some room to develop. This is a real prospect that we signed here. And he has more, basically across the board, goals, assists, points per game, penalty minutes per game, all more at the same ages of 20 and 21 at the same school as Justin Hryckowian. So I think you put this all together, I think we're going to get a similar product to Justin Hryckowian, maybe even better. And how much of a nightmare would it be to have 2 Ritzies tearing it up, chirping the benches, dropping the mitts? Gotta love it. I wonder if they would put them on the same line and have just a terror of a pestilence line, or if they would spread the case of chap ass across the roster. Remains to be seen, but I have a good feeling about this. I think he will eventually be on the Dallas Stars roster. Apple does not fall too far from the tree, and we haven't had this since the Ben brothers were both here, so it's been a little while. Then, you going back and as we dig into the game, we had some good that came out of the game. Otters' point streak continues, 12-0-2, 14-game point streak, just incredible. Dallas did a good job of staying out of the penalty box, only took 2 penalties the whole game. Johnston and Duchesne, 70% about on the face-off circle each. As a whole, we were 61% on the face-off dot, and we pretty much even in shots, and we did better in the turnovers by 7. So you had to think we deserved a little better in terms of some of the things that we did, but sometimes that's just hockey. And we have the Vegas Knights next. So this is tomorrow. By the time you see this, it will be today's game. But yeah, it's gonna be one heck of a race. I really hope that the Stars can somehow pass the Colorado Avalanche so that we don't have to deal with what we dealt with tonight in the first round against the Minnesota Wild. It seems like year after year, Dallas gets the worst possible matchup that we could get in the first round. It's always somebody like Vegas or Colorado, and now probably Minnesota, but I'm crossing my fingers that we get a little bit better fate, and we get somebody like Seattle first round. But to do that, we have got to win and win and win. Let's hope for that. Go Stars, keep the faith, and we'll talk to you on the other side of the Vegas game.